Every costume reference for
Lucina
in Smash Ultimate. A green costume, which resembles Noe, a dragon in human form rescued by the party in Fire Emblem Awakening. This costume is based on Shershay, a wyvern rider in Awakening. Next is a red and white outfit, inspired by Cordelia, a Pegasus Knight. The red armor with green hair is based on Tiki, another humanoid dragon of an ancient tribe. The typical emblem on the back of her cape is replaced by an image of Tiki's mother, the Divine Dragon. Yellow is Lissa, a cleric and Lucina's aunt. This dark costume is based on Tharja, a dark mage. The emblem on her cape is the brand of the Fell Dragon. And finally is pink, based on Sumiya. In Awakening, Sumiya is one of the characters Chrom can marry, and as a result, Sumiya is one of Lucina's possible mothers. Every costume origin for
Dark Pit
in Smash Ultimate. This green costume is actually just a Smash original. This costume makes Dark Pit look like Magnus, a character from Kid Icarus Uprising considered the mightiest human in the world. This yellow was meant to match Pit's yellow costume, since they're technically mirror images. Red is based on Twin Bellows, with the yellow accents representing the flames and the lighter wings matching his visible bones. Then we have this blue costume, which is another Smash original. Next we have a light dark Pit. Since Pit has a dark costume, this was meant to be a sort of light costume as a compliment. Finally, we have a purple color, which is based on the Eggplant Wizard, or Eggplant Pit, in Kid Icarus Uprising. Every costume origin for
Villager
in Smash Ultimate. Villagers' odd-numbered costume slots are all male villagers. This first one is one of the main villagers used in artwork for Animal Crossing City Folk, wearing the number 1 shirt. All even-numbered costumes are female villagers. This one in particular is one of the main villagers used in artwork for Animal Crossing Wild World, wearing the Daisy shirt. This villager is sporting the yellow Racer 6 shirt. And then we have a female villager wearing the turnip top. This villager is wearing the blue tie-dye shirt, and then we have the rugby shirt. The final male villager is wearing the 4-ball shirt. His skin tone is also much darker, referencing the new mechanic in Animal Crossing New Horizons that allows you to pick from a variety of skin tones. And the final female villager also has darker skin, also referencing that new mechanic. She wears the yellow bolero. With the exception of the third costume, all of these villagers are based on some of the appearances that the player can take on at the beginning of either Wild World or City Folk. Do you know every costume origin for
Mega Man
in Smash Ultimate? The red and white armor is the color Mega Man takes on when using traversal power-ups, first debuting in Mega Man 2. However, these were officially reworked into Rush the Robotic Dog in Mega Man 3 onwards. Green and white first appeared as the color scheme that Mega Man takes on in Mega Man 1 when using the Hyper Bomb, Bomb Man's weapon. Brown and yellow is based on the Metal Blade colors, the weapon gained from Metal Man in Mega Man 2. Blue and white comes from the Gemini laser, gained from defeating Gemini Man in Mega Man 3. Green and yellow is based on Mega Man's appearance in Mega Man 7 while using the Slash Claw, Slash Man's ability. Orange and yellow first appeared in Mega Man 1 when using Fire Man's ability, Firestorm. Finally is gray and yellow, which comes from Thunder Man's ability, Thunder Beam in Mega Man 1. Everything mentioned here was the first appearance of these color schemes. However, they have all been reused several times later on in other Mega Man games for various other power-ups as well. Do you know the costume references for
Wii Fit Trainer
in Smash Ultimate? The even-numbered outfits are all based on the female Wii Fit trainer from the Wii Fit series, using the ponytail, one of the hairstyles that she can sport. The odd-numbered outfits are the male Wii Fit trainer, also using one of his hairstyles from the games. Both the female and male green trainer outfits are based on the appearance of the duo in Wii Fit Plus and Wii Fit U. The red color for both matches up with the color theme of the aerobics category of workouts. And likewise, the yellow color for both matches up with the balance games category. Every costume origin for
Rosalina and Luma
in Smash Ultimate. Rosalina's first color is pink, meant to be a parallel to Princess Peach's own pink dress. Yellow is likely based on the Power Stars, which power Rosalina's Comet Observatory in Super Mario Galaxy. Green is just green, though it was also likely chosen to match Princess Peach's similar green dress as well. This deep red dress comes from Rosalina's appearance with the Fire Flower ability in Super Mario 3D World, though she's missing the ponytail seen in that game. Purple is possibly based on Lubba, the captain of Starship Mario seen in Super Mario Galaxy 2. This black and gold dress once again was designed to match Peach's costume of a similar color scheme. Last but not least is a white dress with red accents, which comes from Peach's similar costume based on her appearance in the original Super Mario Bros. And by extension, Peach's Fire Flower appearance in 3D World. Every costume origin for
Little Mac.
in Smash Ultimate. Little Mac's design in Smash is taken from Punch-Out for the Wii, an overall refresh for the Punch-Out series. Yellow with the striped shorts is based on his appearance in the title defense mode of the Wii Punch-Out. The black and gray fit comes from one of his sprites in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but with the shirt and shorts colors swapped. Red, white, and blue once again comes from the Wii Punch-Out, from Little Mac's appearance in the World Circuit. This costume turns Little Mac blonde, which is based on his very different redesign in Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo. Next is a pink hoodie outfit, which has been used throughout the series during Little Mac's training segments. The penultimate costume is a wireframe variant, which is based on the arcade version of Punch-Out so that the player could see the opponents better. And the wireframe costume also gets a hoodie alternate, swapping the glove and hoodie colors of the original to make it stand out a bit more. Every costume origin for
Greninja.
in Smash Ultimate. First is a red color, which is inspired by Crawdon, a Water Dark type Pokemon just like Greninja. Pink comes from Lickitung and Licky Licky, two Pokemon who also have gigantic tongues like Greninja. By the way, that's Greninja's tongue. Black is inspired by Greninja's shiny coloration, but in classic Smash Bros. Fashion, they made just enough adjustments to not make it exact. Purple and green is possibly based on the purple Kecleon found in the anime and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Green is based on frogs, the animal Greninja itself is based on. It can also represent some frog or lizard Pokemon as well. This grayish color has a similar vibe to Gumi, Sliggoo, and Goodra, which debuted in the same games as Greninja. Finally is a darker purple, which is possibly based on Shellder or Gengar, two purple Pokemon that also have fairly large tongues. Every costume origin for
Palutena.
in Smash Ultimate. Palutena's design in Ultimate is based on her redesign from Brawl, which was then carried over into Kid Icarus Uprising for the 3DS. Palutena's pale red costume is based on her sprite in Kid Icarus for the NES, where it had a similar reddish color. Blue and purple is based on Amazon Pandora, the goddess of calamity as she appears in Kid Icarus Uprising. Her green dress comes from her art in the booklet for the first Kid Icarus. This blue dress could have been inspired by the blue dress from other NES-era artwork, but then made much more vivid. A red dress, which resembles a Viridi, the goddess of nature from Kid Icarus Uprising. Black with accents of gold is inspired by Dark Pit's color scheme, making a sort of dark Palutena. And finally is a red and black outfit, which comes from Medusa, the goddess of darkness in Kid Icarus Uprising. Every costume origin for
Pac-Man.
in Smash Ultimate. First, Pac-Man receives blue wristbands and little wings on his boots, which comes from the sprite for the Wing Shoes power-up from Pac-Land. This white color is also from the Wing Shoes power-up, but this time referencing the actual artwork. And then there's this costume, which turns the gloves and boots plaid, sort of like oven mitts. Sadly, the remaining 4 costumes are a big old nothing, with no real references and barely noticeable changes. This was likely at the request of Bandai Namco to keep Pac-Man mostly yellow, but it still sucks to see. Every costume origin for
Robin.
in Smash Ultimate. All of Robin's odd-numbered slots are based on the default male avatar found in Fire Emblem Awakening. Likewise, all of the even-numbered slots are based on the default female avatar. Robin's first alternate color is green, based on the default appearance of Mark, the first customizable character in the Fire Emblem series and the precursor to the entire avatar system. Red is based on Anna, a recurring character found throughout the Fire Emblem series. For some reason, Ultimate made this costume blonde, making the reference less accurate than it used to be back in Smash 4. Blue comes from the male appearance of Chris, the player avatar found in Fire Emblem New Mystery of the Emblem. Yellow is based on Brigid, also known as Avil, who makes appearances in multiple Fire Emblem games. This white and red outfit is inspired not by the Fire Emblem series, but by the Final Fantasy series White Mage class. Finally is pink, based on Sarah from Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade. Every costume origin for
Shulk.
in Smash Ultimate. Spoilers ahead, you've been warned. Shulk's main costume is based on his default appearance in Xenoblade Chronicles. Shulk's first recolor is based on Mecha Fiora, one of Shulk's oldest friends. Next is a costume based on Dunban, Fiora's brother. Then a color based on Rhine, Shulk's best friend. Blue and orange comes from Sharla, a medic from Colony 6. Pink is based on Melia, the crown princess of High Entia. Yellow comes from Riki, the hero pawn. And finally is a swimsuit costume, based on the similar armor set found in Xenoblade Chronicles. Aside from the swimsuit, all of the costumes are based on the party members that join Shulk in Xenoblade Chronicles. Every costume origin for
Bowser Jr.
in Smash Ultimate. Bowser Jr. first appeared in Super Mario Sunshine, and in Smash, he uses the clown car that debuted in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The remaining costumes are the Koopalings, who first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3. First is Larry Koopa, who is named after Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer for U2. Next is Roy Koopa, who was named after Roy Orbison. Wendy O. Koopa is next, the only female Koopaling, named after Wendy O. Williams, lead singer of Plasmatics. After that, we have Iggy, a silly guy named after Iggy Pop, singer of the band The Stooges. Then we have Morton Koopa Jr., named after Morton Downey Jr., a radio DJ, songwriter, and talk show host. Lemmy Koopa is named after Lemmy Kilmister, lead singer of Motorhead. And finally is Ludwig von Koopa, named after composer Ludwig von Beethoven. Every costume origin for
Duck Hunt.
in Smash Ultimate. The dog is obviously based on the dog from Duck Hunt, and the default duck comes from one of the 3 possible duck colors. For the first costume, the dog is inspired by the colors of a Rottweiler, while the duck is a male Saxony duck. Next is a dog based on a Border Collie, while the duck is based on an American Black Duck. Brown is an incredibly common color for dogs, so it can't really be pinned down to a specific breed. The duck, however, is similar to a female Orpington duck. After that is a Dalmatian, paired with a ruddy shell duck. And then we have a dog similar to a beagle, with a duck that resembles a blue-headed mallard. This combination of dog and duck color is based on the official art for Duck Hunt, also appearing as its spirit. This duck color is also one of the ducks that can be hunted in-game. And lastly is a dog based on a Labrador Retriever, with the duck being the 3rd possible duck color in the actual Duck Hunt game. Every costume origin for
Ryu.
First, we have a Gray Gi, a color from Street Fighter II Turbo when selecting Ryu with the medium punch button. This white gi has a slight hint of blue, and is based on the color when selecting him with heavy punch in Street Fighter II Turbo. Black with a yellow headband is his light punch costume in Turbo, and orange is his light kick color, which is also possibly inspired by Ryo Sakazaki from the Art of Fighting series. Blue is Ryu's medium kick color scheme, and this yellow is for heavy kick. Finally is a purple gi, which isn't from Street Fighter II. Instead, it's a possible color that Ryu can have in Street Fighter V. Every costume origin for
Cloud.
Cloud's default costume is based on his appearance in Final Fantasy VII for the PS1. Meanwhile, his alternate costume comes from his appearance in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, a movie that takes place after the events of Final Fantasy VII. Cloud's first recolor is a blue one, based on the 3rd class soldier uniform in Final Fantasy VII. Then another blue for his Advent Children costume, which is for the 3rd class soldier uniform in Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Next, a red color, which comes from the 2nd class soldier uniform in Final Fantasy VII. This was also used as an alternate color in Urgai's God Bless the Ring, a Square Enix published fighting game that featured Cloud. This costume features a torn sleeve for Cloud, based on a moment in Advent Children. The red ribbon worn on his arm is there in remembrance of Aerith. Next is brown, which doesn't really have any reference. And finally is a purple tinted costume, based on the 2nd class soldier uniform in Crisis Core. Every costume origin for
Corrin.
in Smash Ultimate. Corrin's odd-numbered costumes are the default appearance of the male avatar in Fire Emblem Fates. And as you might expect, the even-numbered costumes are the default appearance of the female avatar in Fates. The first recolor is a red and blue one, based on Saizo, a ninja that serves the Hoshiden royal family. Orange comes from the color scheme of Oboro, a spear fighter that can join the party in Fire Emblem Fates. This blue costume with elements of red could be inspired by Arthur, a fighter allied with the Norian royal family. Next is a pink color scheme, which could be based on the appearance of citizens of Vala, a secret and largely undisturbed third kingdom in the world of Fates. Corrin's green costume could possibly be based on Kaze, the twin of Saizo, who is also a ninja. Finally, we have a black costume with accents of gold, based on the appearance of the Nor noble class. Every costume origin for
Bayonetta.
in Smash Ultimate. Half of Bayonetta's costumes are based on her appearance in Bayonetta 2, while the other half are based on how she looks in the first Bayonetta. Her weapons also change color accordingly. This gold recolor is inspired by a similar costume in Anarchy Reigns, a beat-em-up game developed by Platinum Games, which Bayonetta appears in as DLC. This costume is itself inspired by Bruce Lee's jumpsuit in Game of Death. Next is green, which is also based on an alternate color from Anarchy Reigns. This red and white outfit is based on Jean, Bayonetta's rival throughout the series. Next is a red color, which is based on Cereza, Bayonetta's younger self, who she looks after thanks to some time travel. This white color is probably a reference to the white dress that Bayonetta wears at the beginning of Bayonetta 2. And finally is a blue costume, which is yet another color pulled from her appearance in Anarchy Reigns.